Man, so Tszyu came out and said that Errol Spence and him ain't doing no testing. Does it surprise me? No, it doesn't surprise me that they're not drug testing. I've been telling y'all, PBC be saying our drug testing is confidential, and anytime you gotta hide something where Vada can't get on their website or get on their Twitter and be like, oh, this Tszyu and Errol Spence have entered drug testing. Anytime you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you can't do that, then, you know, you got to hide something. What you got to hide for? I told y'all they not testing it. You know, if it, you know, is it about finances? I don't want to pay for testing. I don't care about testing. I told y'all, man. And then you had Errol Spence homeboy come out here and say he on that shit. You know, and that's it. That's him saying that allegedly. Ain't got nothing to do with me. He said it, you know, and now you looking at that performance kind of funny now. And Tszyu said, I don't know why it ain't no testing. You know, I don't know why. Remember, Keith Thurman came out, and, you know, about 6 weeks before the Pacquiao fight, said, we ain't testing. Remember, Broner hollered and screamed about testing with Manny Pacquiao. I just let you know, man, they don't care about the sport. They don't care about their fighters. They don't care about the sport. They don't care about their fighters. All they care about is the money. And the only reason, you know, random drug testing was introduced in boxing was from the simple fact of, guess what? It was Floyd Mayweather had suspicions that Manny Pacquiao was on steroids. Floyd Mayweather, some people say, was scared to take an ass whooping versus Manny Pacquiao. But Paul Malignaggi was one of the first guys to, you know, really point out that Pacquiao probably was on that shit. You know? But, you know, when they, you know, start, you know, making accusations about steroid use, it just tends to only be about the fighters that they don't like. You know, you got a guy right now at 160 pounds, Janabek. He still holds the IBF title, even though he was stripped of his other title because he popped hot. Come on, could have robbed Crawford of a what? A fourth undisputed run. You know, and they still allow him to hold the title. I'm telling y'all, man, in boxing, it all depends on who it is. And you got to ask yourself, why they ain't drug testing? All of a sudden, Errol then came back after 3 years. He ready to come back and they ain't testing. I mean, come on now. But, you know, when they tell y'all who to like, y'all don't question it. You know, y'all was questioning Crawford's, you know, fortitude, questioning his, if he really wanted to fight people, kind of, you know, oh, he ain't fought this guy. That guy wasn't diminishing every fighter that he fought. And all the lies accumulated into the truth getting his ass whooped. That's why he went from the truth to the big fish. You know what I'm saying? That's why he went from the truth to the big fish, because he knew he wasn't the truth. He knew the truth was about to beat his ass home. And it did. And it did, bro. It really did, bro. That motherfucker been moving funny, man. I've been telling y'all about dog. He been moving funny for a long time, but people didn't want to believe me. People, oh, you just hating. I ain't hating. I'm telling y'all what it is. What is it so bad to drug test? If you ain't doing shit, all of a sudden you ready to get in shape. And then no telling what that motherfucker been doing for 3 years. What he been flushing in our system. The same thing for Tszyu. Yeah, Tszyu could play the role. I don't know why they no drug testing. Well, nigga, you could have not took the fight or took the fight. You could have said, hey, man, we ain't going to be testing for this amount of time. I ain't fucking with it. But he fucked with it. So we all know, man, Errol Spence could be the clean fighter. He could be the one that's juiced up shawty. We don't know. But only time that people ask these questions about juicing and about all this credibility, it was when it comes to a fighter that they don't like. And most people only like the only fans, or you want to call these niggas fans, the only fighters they don't like is the ones that press their fighter for a fight. That's the new way to hate in boxing. If dude want to fight your fighter and he a threat, Your favorite fighter, you don't want to see. Just think about how ass backwards that is. We should want to see the biggest and the best fights. We should want to see the biggest and the best fights. We should want to see the biggest and the best fights. Hey, all of a sudden now I don't know. Nobody want to see these fights. Nobody want to see these fights, bro. You know, nobody want to see these fights no more. Everybody just want to see they want to watch these fights. They want to go to the fight and just see their fighter get an easy victory or see a cherry pick going wrong. I've been saying it. I'm the only one that I created it. The upset in boxing is the new big fight. And it's gonna continue to be a lot of upsets because these dudes not challenging themselves and they not that good. And one may ask, you know, when Errol Spence got into the blender with Bud, one may ask the logical question of, you know, hey, and if they tested, is that why Errol Spence looks so different? Is that why Errol Spence claiming he had this injury? If he had this injury, where was the physicians at for this fight? Where's the physicians at that cleared him for this fight? Was it to the fact that he looked so indifferent because he couldn't be on the Superman serum? See, as much as y'all talk about, oh, snack this, snack that, Victor Conte, he been sick and he ended up passing away. But Victor Conte got in trouble again. He was going to jail for probably the rest of his natural born life at that point. So he couldn't get caught up in no more Balco, no type of shit like that. And people, oh man, he worked with Snack and that Snack shit is suspicious. But then again, Javante say that, but you working with a company that keeps their drug testing confidential. You know why it's confidential? Because it's not happening. Y'all ain't even testing, but that's how they do it. A motherfucker, oh man, you know, he this and he that, or she this and she that. But then you the same shit or you doing worse than what you accused them of. Real talk. If anybody is suspicious, it's the premier boxing champions. Why do we need to keep our drug testing confidential? I'm just asking for the people in the back of the church. Why do we need to keep our drug testing confidential? Why is this transparency there? Errol Spence and Tszyu passed all drug tests. Why is it the transparency there? But then, you know, what people like to hit you with, well, everybody does steroids and that's what they try. That's their last excuse. Everybody does it. Everybody's on the juice. You know, but then why is it people passing Vada test everything everywhere every time they do it, every fight, in and out of competition? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And maybe that's why he looked so different when he fought Bud. Wasn't no fucking McRib injury. It was a lack of motivation. It was a lack of motivation. But yeah, these people don't be, oh, you a hater. You'll be hating it. You a hater for bringing up the facts. You the hater for bringing up the truth. That's how they try to shame you. Most of these dudes in this space, man, in these spaces, they move like women. They try to shame you and discourage you from speaking the truth. Man, you just hating on this guy. You ain't hating, dog. Just tell me where I lied at, where I was wrong at. So they try to shame you for saying that shit, man. That's why a lot of these content creators run away from telling the truth. Now, if you get with them off record or talk to them behind the scenes, man, them niggas be sounding like me. No nigga, yeah, man, nigga, fuck that nigga. But they on that microphone, they can't really keep it a beam, bro. On that microphone, they can't keep it a thou wow. It's a way to tell the truth and still protect your brand. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But these dudes, you know, they scared to speak on the truth, bro. I keep telling y'all that. They scared to tell them the truth. Oh, he gonna turn on me. They only start talking about the truth when somebody violate them, like if, you know, PBC do them dirty or a fighter diss them or something like that. That's only when the truth come out how they really feel. Nigga, you know how I feel regardless. I know somebody was my comment, you riding with Boo. Nah, nigga, I just know how to be objective. I don't still fuck with him, but I can be objective about his ability. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't be objective about the ability. They can't be objective, bro. Keep telling y'all, a lot of these dudes, either if they hate you, they ain't got nothing good to say about you. If they like you, they don't say nothing bad to say about you. Regardless, I'm just gonna keep it a thigh wide. And I'll tell you, I don't like this bitch ass nigga right here, but hey, this motherfucker the truth. He can go, he can fight. But people think if you like somebody, you can't be objective and keep it real. And people think if you hate somebody, you can't give compliments and tell the truth about them if they're really good. And, you know, that's why I don't really understand that with people. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, while they ain't testing, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, join the Patreon. Peace.